While many of you were opening presents this morning, Nashville was dealing with a Christmas morning explosion that rocked part of the city's downtown, and it wasn't an accident. A message blared that there was a bomb before an RV exploded around 6:30 this morning Central Time. And for those of you who are familiar with the city's iconic Lower Broadway Street right here, it's one of the most popular tourist spots in the country. The explosion happened about a block north of it, across from the Cumberland River. Many buildings were damaged and 3 people were sent to the hospital. But as CBS's Elise Preston reports, luckily nobody was killed.
The explosion shook the heart of downtown Nashville, unleashing giant flames and a cloud of black smoke, leaving a path of charred debris, shattered glass, and ruptured water lines.
It looks like a bomb went off on 2nd Avenue. That's, an explosion.
As officers swarmed to the scene, police said this was not an accident.
We do believe that the explosion was an intentional act.
Shortly before the blast, police had received reports of shots fired.
As officers responded, they encountered an RV that had a recording saying that a potential bomb would detonate within 15 minutes. Officers, upon hearing that, decided to evacuate the buildings nearby.
Minutes later, the RV exploded, knocking an officer to the ground. The Nashville FBI is now heading the investigation and says it has investigative leads, but also asked the public for tips.
This is our city too. We live here, we work here, and we're putting everything we have into finding who was responsible for what's happened here today.
In this East Nashville backyard, here's what it sounded like from 2 miles away. The downtown streets were mostly deserted Christmas morning, which kept injuries to a minimum.
We've made 3 transports to area hospitals. None of those transports at this point are critical.
As K-9 units searched the area, federal resources flowed into Nashville, including explosive specialists with the top priority of making sure there are no further threats to public safety.
Got a lot of family and friends out there, so I'm just thankful that everybody is okay. Now, the explosion was right outside the AT&T building, communications, right down there in downtown. That knocked out the internet and cell service to many around the city. Flights out of BNA, that's Nashville's airport, were actually halted due to a telecommunications issue that was associated with that explosion. They do expect to resume flights by 3 o'clock today. Again, just glad that everybody is okay. Nashville